Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Camerascore, where we discuss all things media. And this week we are back on albums, but we're talking multiple. Let's start first with Kanye West's Bully. He made Graduation, guys. But is that enough for him to hang on to? In my personal opinion, not anymore. So first we've got 18 songs. Why so many? Ever since the downfall with the Vultures era, and maybe even a little bit of Donda, it's just been him throwing numerous songs at you in just a wanton fashion. Can we get something curated like you used to? I mean, even the songs he had, the albums he had before with more songs, still felt like they had more of a theme and the songs flowed well together. Now what we kind of get is him just releasing whatever he feels like, which respect in a certain amount, but at the same time, you could have kept a lot of these songs. Now, I will say, I did like Punch Drunk. I liked Whatever Works. I liked Bully. I liked Circles. I liked Preacher Man. And I liked Beauty and the Beast. But that is half to less than half, because there are a couple songs that I still would listen to. But out of 18 songs? Come on, yay. And then even after all the controversy that he's been going through recently and his recent apology, if you want to accept that, he's still selling out shows. He's still a great performer, but what is happening musically? What is happening mentally? I think it'd be very interesting for him to make an album where he's talking about what he's gone through and acknowledge the wrongs he's made. These songs are great, the ones I've listed. But at the same time, they kind of feel normal. There are good peaks, but not good peaks for Kanye. And I feel like you should hold every artist to their own standard. From what he's done before to what he does now, a complete mismatch. I mean, the biggest takeaway from this is just he can still make good music. We know he still has it in him, but he's just not doing it. I just feel like so many of these songs are either overproduced or just filled with a verse that kind of takes away. You know, the hook is supposed to be something that gets you in there. It's the hook after all. But he'll repeat it over and over and over and over again for certain songs. And it kind of just becomes monotonous and takes you out of it. I think he could have done a way better job, cut at least 8 of these songs. And I think this album would have been a lot better, cemented something bigger. What is the central theme of this album? Maybe I missed it. Someone has to let me know. But it just feels like there's some good songs. There's some bad songs. His albums recently have just been peaks and pitfalls. Not one album is a peak. No, every album contains both peaks and pitfalls. Great songs, but songs I would never listen to again. For me, I'm giving this a 5 out of 10. It's average because there's good songs, maybe 9 of them, but there's bad songs, 9 of them. But up next, we got Samara Cyn, Detour. Now this is how albums should be. I guess it's an EP. I need to do some research on what makes it an album versus an EP. Because is it the amount of songs? Is it because it's 7 instead of 8 or 9? Now it's an EP? Who knows? But she is doing her thing here. Samara Cyn is maybe becoming one of my favorite artists as of late. I just love her vocals and the way she harmonizes in between, her ability to rap. Her and Overcast on a song is always fire. Speaking of them, there's a song on here called Bushwick. Now, I don't know if she's even relatively close to Brooklyn. I doubt she's from there based on what I've looked up. But this song, she's saying she got some people in Bushwick that'll do it to you. And it really hits. The beat is fire, produced by Overcast, I believe. And just the way that she goes back and forth between rapping and singing, I want to say Smino-like, but not really Smino-like. It's just really done immaculately here. I like all 7 songs. I really believe this is a perfect project, or I guess perfect EP. My favorites though are Good Is a Lie, Bushwick, and I don't know if it's oh shit or if it's just OSHXT, like maybe that's an Overcast thing. But it is a really, really cool project that kind of takes you through some of what she's going through with Good Is a Lie, for example. Talking about relationships and how just because someone appears to be the nice guy doesn't mean they're actually so. And which makes sense. A lot of times people do be pretending to be the nice guy. But I think the production on this album is solid. Her vocals and the way she's kind of stretching her vocal range at the same time as she hits you with this crazy, almost boom bap type 90s flow. Just goes together so well. And I really love it. So that I will give a 10 out of 10. Samara Cyn hits once again. Lastly, we have Thundercat. And he always delivers as one of the best bassists in the game. Yes, bassist. I was corrected recently. There's a difference between him and a guitarist. It's correct to say it. But he does so well creating these groovy vibes. These albums are ones that you can just play entirely. I might have to get the vinyl for this. This one also features one of my favorite songs in a long time. Features Mac Miller, of course it would be. It's called She Knows Too Much. Just amazing having them back together once again. And just, you know how Thundercat is. Every time he's on the song, he sprinkles in some of just this beautiful vibe and grooviness that transcends a song. When he works with Kendrick, when he works with other artists, there's always a way you can tell, oh yeah, Thundercat was on this one. Him with Anderson .Paak is always great too. He's just one of those artists that every time you even sprinkle him on the track, great things happen. So this time, Distracted. We have 15 songs. Now, again, I'm always kind of teeter-tottering against albums having this many songs, but similar to him and Kaytranada, it's so vibey that you can kind of just play it in the background. Now, I don't like every single song in that they're amazing and that I would specifically single them out, but it's hard to say that I don't like the song when if you play the full album, you can almost go through it without stopping it, ever. I've listened to this album maybe 3 times, and each time you kind of just, you get in this groove, this feeling where you're like, yo, this is really fire. And I could listen to this in the background in my house all day. To essentially go into my favorites. So like I said, there's She Knows Too Much. I did this to myself with Flying Lotus, another one that's just an amazing producer with a vibey sound. There's a song with him and Kendrick that I highly recommend that's really cool. And then it actually features Lil Yachty, and he doesn't do too bad here. Honestly, Lil Yachty has been winning me over. I was very against him for a large part of his career, but I think he's truly found his avenue and his sound. Then we have Funny Friends with A$AP Rocky. Cool to see him on this one. And then we have No More Lies, which I guess is kind of cheating because he released this as a single from a while ago. So this is hard to rate because, again, I don't necessarily love every song, but when played together, it just is such a smooth experience. So I think I might have to violate my own rating rules this time. I think I'm going to give this one an 8 to 9 out of 10, regardless of the exact amount of songs that I like, just because it plays together so well. Similar to Kaytranada, similar to Flying Lotus. This is just an album filled with vibes and a grooviness that you simply cannot escape. Masterful work by him and worth the wait. And the fact that his promo is so hilarious made me want to listen to this album even more. So that's 3 albums, 3 different vibes and experiences. 3 different goals and objectives, 3 different entire artists with 3 different backgrounds. You have Kanye and all the problematic things that comes with him. We have Samara Cyn and her edge to finally making it to this level of stardom and the way that she's contending with the quote-unquote Doja Cat comparisons. And then you have Thundercat, an industry legend as well, but more well-loved and staying in his vibey, groovy, ethereal lane. 3 albums, I think, each have decent songs, worth a listen, but more so Samara Cyn and Thundercat. Yay, I think it's more of a skim. But hey, you let me know what other albums I should react to or should listen to. What albums are you listening to right now? And I will see you next week at 5 p.m.